Okay, the recording is on.
All right. So, hello everyone. Good morning to you again here in California, USA, and good evening to India and to the Philippines. Today is a very special event because this is the first collaboration and partnership between Blogly and Clearout. So, allow me to introduce myself to you as the mediator of today's event. I am Glenn, Mayor Bagani, the marketing manager of Boost. Here we are joined by the founder and CEO of Blogly, Gennady Batrakov, and the founder of Clearout Phone, which is Nana Prakash, or also called as GP. So allow me to formally introduce you to each other. Give me a chance to introduce Gennady Batrakov, the sponsor of today's event. Gennady is 56 years old from Santa Clara, California, who is the founder of Blogly. He spent 22 years of experience, and he is the founder of Blogly, which is helping online creators craft quality original content based on methodological research, well organized content assets management, and easy SEO optimization, and the use of a built in plagiarism scanner. He's also found in Appsumo. So, to introduce to you the guest speaker for today's event, he is no other than Mr. Nana Prakash. Oh, that's a bit difficult name. He spent 18 years of experience building software products and solving business critical problems. He holds a great experience building software products for online advertisement, online tutoring, logistics, business analytics, and sales and marketing automation. He has such a great exposure working with both proprietary and open source software variants. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you each other, Gennady and Nana Prakash.
All right, all right, yeah.
Oh,
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you very much. So I guess from now on we are communicating. I mean, one on one on this.
All right, you two have fun. Enjoy.
All right, thank you.
sure. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, JP. So nice to meet you, and it's great to meet another founder who was on Appsumo, and Appsumo I mean, to me I think the greatest experience coming from Exuma is just meeting so many people and so many customers.
Yeah.
Even I
Mm-hmm.
was on right now. It's still I'm on the outskirts on Exuma on the
Mm-hmm.
marketplace, but we go into the featured page as well. So
Mm-hmm.
tell me your experience with the Exuma.
Yeah, it was really fantastic experience we had with the Appsumo because when we launched Clearout in the early year of 2019, and in a 3 months time we went to Appsumo. We have been shortlisted, right? And we have been put it on there for 3 months. Then I think we got super popular, super tractions. We got good reviews in a month time, and I think we have been the top five performer of the year 2019. We have been listed.
All right, all right. Just about again, I wanted to make this more spontaneous, so we can talk
Yeah,
about our experiences. So we're not prepared. So let's
yeah.
let's talk about this. Is a kind of interesting thing. I want to know more about your background, and I have a kind of outline, but I want to know more about your background. You tell me about how.
So yeah, so I've been in this software industry for 20 years. So I started my career with a startup. Okay. Then initial days I was working with a couple of good founders. Then I moved into MNCs. I was there in California, Oracle. I spent my time few of my days working with the great engineers in Oracle, especially. Even I got a chance to meet Mr. Larry once. Then from there, I moved back to India. Then my time is I mostly spend my 60 to 70% of my all my experience goes working on the early stage startups. So my previous startups, which is Twitter Vista, which is
Mhm.
an online platform, I joined even before it named called Twitter Vista, and it went really pretty well. We were helping US students to learn math, uh,
Mhm.
right? And we also had a good exit. We sold Twitter Vista to PSM. So it was a wonderful experience. I come from a lot of working with the early stage startup, right, and growing along with the business, right, taking to the next level, right, uh, helping them to grow domestic as well as international, getting international customers. So my most of my time goes into the startup. That's what I love.
Okay, okay. Tell me, I mean, how did you start out with the, I mean, you started the Clearout. So what's the
Yeah. So
Clearout is all about and how did you come up with that?
yeah. So since I like what I said, I spend most of my time working with the startups, right? So the startups, the earlier problem is we all will have a good idea, great idea. We'll do any implementations. We will be great in analysis, research. All those things will go fine. Once we get into the market, right? That's where we'll start seeing a small. We'll start seeing the problem. One is how to reach the audience, right? That's the first problem. A lot of startups will have. Second one is how to how to do the conversions. Basically, how to increase the customer base, how to do retain it, right? So these all mostly comes into sales and marketing. So that's where um, 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 my journey starts for Clearout. So where lot of things, right? Even now, email is where a lot of startups will uh, try to put more money on there to get few of the customers, right?
Yeah,
Either by code outreach, right? Either by doing a code outreach, even like what you're saying, you have been listed in the Appsumo, right? So the good about Appsumo is obviously you will not get the Appsumo uh, list, but the good about it is you will be exposed to a lot of marketers there in the Appsumo. Appsumo has a good subscriber. You'll be getting a lot of good feedback. So there'll be a conversions happening, right? So you'll be over a point in time your list will grow with all the emails and the phones, right?
yeah,
So the problem what we have seen is even though the emails comes into the system and we maintain a good CRM, all those things, right? A lot of startups or a lot of even the founders I've seen, a lot of founders they're not aware of that email has a decay problem, right? So that means over a point in time, whatever the customers you have gathered, right? You will not be able to reach them because of those
yeah,
emails goes for bad, right? And if those emails goes for a bad, obviously there is no point you keep chasing those customers, right? Because it's already gone bad, right? There's no way of getting them back. So what you have to do is you have to constantly clean your list. The one side you will focus on how to generate more customers, right? How to how to increase your list. At the same time, there is always a chance of your list getting decayed, right? Your customer keep losing
yeah,
out of the your
yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah,
So that's where clear out comes.
I've been,
That's where clear out comes.
I've been in there. I mean, also like everybody else. So I guess that a lot of Epsuma people, I mean, who loves the people of LTD, I would say, right?
Yeah.
They like to they also build in business. So whoever build in business, they gotta find their leads. So when they find the leads, there are multiple ways of finding leads. But still, the next step you need to have is a simply clean up the email, clean up because you want to reach out, and you don't want to have you want to have a good deliverability, but in order
Yes.
to do that, you need to clean out your emails, right? So
Yes. Exactly. Amen.
what do you think of what was I mean what you stumbled on when you put the app, because I have my own experience on when I put it on Appsuma, and I remember that the customers was flooding with the questions, so you keep answering, keep answering. What your experience on this the communicating on the Appsuma?
So the first thing is, yeah, like what I said, quite a lot of people are surprised to know that there is something email has to be clean, right? A lot of people knows there is something called a deliverability problem, or they'll always start with the issue saying that, hey, I keep sending emails, but I'm not getting a results back, right? My expectation is not met, right? Because people know there is a deliverability issue, but there is a chance that we can fix those deliverability issues. So that's where Clearout comes in. When we went and soundly said on the Appsumo, I think you might be seeing on the you're showing it on the screen, right? We said that, hey, we solve your deliverability, email deliverability issues, right? So people started stumbling about how you will solve it. First thing is when we said that, hey, you have to bring your email list, put it into Clearout. We'll do the cleaning process and we'll give you back out of those lists how many emails are good and how many emails are bad, right? So then people started asking questions about the security, right? If we start asking for the email database, they'll start, how I can give my customer database, right? I don't want to give my customer database. So then the security problem comes in. So then we said that no, obviously we won't store the data. There is no business we build out of the data what we gather from the customers. And also we have 100% GDPR compliant, right? If a customer comes from Europe region, right, or any part of a country who has to be 100% GDPR, we say that our entire service is available in the European region itself. So we have a different in a different regions we have our service available. One in US East West and in German, all those things. So questions comes like security issues related, then the data issues itself, right? Like how you say that a email is a bad? People say that no, this is the email I reached last week, but your system says it's a bad email. How come? Because we say it because we go and really test all the emails to the corresponding mail server on real time to understand what is the current status of this email. If I send an email, will it hit the inbox? Will it hit the mailbox, or it will bounce back? Right?
Yeah.
So that more like when we get into the technical side of it, people start worrying about more. They'll start worrying about how it will work. Is it real or is it really these guys are without even sending an email? How these guys are able to figure it out? The email is a bad, right? The email address is a bad, right? So those are all. I think even if you see on the comment section of the Appsumo, I think you might see some questions are repeated one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tell me about say, because I know about the issue with the with the emails. I've tried many apps. So by the way, I've done a lot of things, but the one thing I know that the cleaning email is great, but you still need to build the customers, right? So because the next step is I got the email now. Because I need to reach out, and my primary goal is when I'm reaching out, I need to say something to the client, to the leads, so I want them to listen to me and come to my website and do certain things, right? Because what important is to grow my business, not the final goal of how many emails I cleaned up. The final goal is reaching out and say that things that will bring the client, and then I will maybe I can sell, or maybe I can do something later. But at first, getting attention. What do you do for getting attention and bringing now into your platform? How you collect your clients yourself? Even though, let's say, now let's put aside now cleaning. We've done the cleaning. The next step. What do you do with the content? Because for me, I'm more from a content perspective. And I'm looking, I'm building a business. I need to create the content in order for people to come and read. If the content sucks, nobody reads it, right? And nobody wants to be on your side. They just leave very quickly. So what's the point? You spend all this time and money to cleaning up emails, but when you send junk, you show your junk on the website, nobody wants it. So what do you do about that? How do you deal with this content itself? So what do you write? What do you do?
So as part of our lead generation process, right? The first thing what we follow is on the landing page. Obviously, we'll try to have a nice way of telling what we are, what problem we are solving, right? So that we try to express in a way of, like, say, in a 5 seconds. Within a 5 second, user should be able to understand what we are, what problem we are solving, right?
Okay.
So it has to be as catchy as possible, because what we are seeing is people attention time is keep reducing, right? People are ready to even through an ad or something, if you put, when they land on the landing page, right, their attention is reducing. Okay, so we'll be trying doing A/B testing with a catchy words in a short, in a 5 seconds to 10 seconds to
You're
make sure
talking
they
about the
understand.
first email, right? You're talking about the first email to get the customer interest. Because when you deal with the cleaning emails, I mean, of course, that's a cold email, right? So the cold email strategy is you're sending out and hoping the people, I mean, certain percentage of people will come back to you and read. So you gotta
Correct.
make them interested, right? So the first email, but of course you set up the sequence of emails.
Sequences. Correct. We
So
set
you don't expect like sending one email and you got the client. It's a no.
it
How
won't
many
ne-
times?
it,
How many
it
times you,
never.
from your experience, how many times you need to, I mean, send email until you get someone respond and become the actual prospect?
So what we have seen is our average rate of conversion. That is at least a customer coming back and responding to the email, right? Cold email is at least on an average three. Okay. Currently, what we are running. So
Three.
that means three. Yeah, right. So that means if we had for 100 customers to get a response from 100 customers, we might end up sending for on an average 3 times of emails for each of the customers, right?
Okay.
So
Three
yeah,
only, right?
so that yeah, only three. After that, we'll put it. Yeah, after that, we'll put it back into kind of a different segmentations of sequencing, where it will not go that aggressive. So the first three is kind of an aggressive sequence, which is like day one and day three and day seven, something like that, right?
Okay.
And yeah, so when I mean aggressive sequences, so we obviously on day one itself we'll be knowing about the customer few things. On day two, day three, from day one to day three, we'll see are there any activities happen. If let's say they opened it, they clicked it, right? So then we'll do different kinds of sequence for them, right? So in the meantime, we'll also understand whether the customer is doing any kind of activity across the social media or any kind of article he's reading or any kind of he's interested on, his company is interested on, right? So we'll try to understand something relevant to the recent activity that's happening on the customer end. You got it? So we'll try to derive some kind of information and bring some further attention to the second sequence email or even the third sequence email. You got it?
Huh.
So some context we'll try to add. So for example, recently US elections, obviously yesterday only it's been declared, right? I think today declared, right? So we were sending to our cold email saying that it's been quite a long. It's been because we drive some context out of those things, what's happening in US, right? So we'll try to engage with the customer, right? Then we'll see that whether how it's proceeding further, right?
Yeah. Let me ask you, what do you use for the email delivery?
So email delivery, we have we have standard ESPs we use. I think we use Mosend, we use a delivery, and we have our own in-house email system also to send an email.
Okay. Is any email delivery platform you can recommend for the customers?
Sure. Woodpecker, we tried it earlier. Then since we also tried close.io, we also tried MoveSend. So I think all these platforms are good at a certain aspect. But we have for a mass cold emailing, we thought, okay, we'll have our own internal tool to build because of a lot of experimentations we need to do. Otherwise, very soon, in 3 months down the line, you will get been blocked, or your cold email might not be hitting the mailbox or inbox, right?
Okay.
So then you will not see them. That's a problem. Not just us, a lot of the cold email guys will face it, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be prepared. So you have to be prepared. You have to have a backup setups, right? Because your campaign should not stop at any point in time, right? So that's why we were using multiple ESPs, multiple even the tools and platform. We keep trying also. We are not stopping. A lot of Appsumo, from Appsumo also we have some couple of email sending we have subscribed, right? We also have our own internal tool to do it. So yeah, so we mix it.
Okay. And from my personal experience, actually, I'm using the Engage Bay, and I like them. And this is an Indian-based platform, and I think they're like all in one tool. It's pretty much a lot of stuff there.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me ask you that. Okay, what another thing is that I'm stumbled on personally. So when I create the letter, I end up because you have to think about the like an email sequencing. You put in the letter to the client or to the prospect, whether you do it as a cold email, so because you are dealing with the cold email, so you find the people, you bring it in, you clean the emails, and then you send out trying to get the people. So when I do this copy inside there for the writing the email, I end up like with the multiple versions. So on those versions are important, even though I don't want to, they are slightly different, but I don't want to lose them. So this is one of the things that I made in Blogly, that I could create a version in. I can just simply copy. But before, what I was doing is I have like 8-9 different versions of the same email, and I'm trying to keep, and I don't want to lose them. I think like, oh, this way is good. Maybe this one is better, this one, but I don't want to delete them. I have to leave them all. And how do you deal with that right now with this kind of thing?
So we also have a versioning system kind of it. We use obviously we have not tried the Blogely, but maybe we would like to try it. But currently we manually do the versioning. So we have even used I think our sales team use Google Sheet or Google Sheet. They do a way of versioning it.
Google Docs.
Different kinds of email. Yeah, Google Docs and Google Sheet also they do. And Google Docs for the content, Google Sheet for the campaigns, metadata, those informations, and they'll also do a versioning on that. So we don't have as such a specific tool as of now that managed all the versioning.
By the way, you could try Blogly. I mean, we have that provision of the versioning. So
sure.
The only one thing
sure,
is for us we are now in a phase of like rapidly growing. So the one of the integrations we plan is with the email marketing platforms. And those the ones like most common ones like MailChimp, even though I'm not the big fan of MailChimp, but yeah, we'll do the MailChimp, the ConvertKit, the AdWeber. So we're looking at those things to add integration, so you can easily sync up your content for delivery. Because I know it takes so many times I create a mail and I go back and I correct it and correct it and correct it. So it does take, and then I need to save the content somewhere. My last version is most important one, and sometimes you get lost because so many things, and yeah, it's not that easy. And whoever said that cold email is it's not easy. So it's a lot of manual thing work involved. The cleaning itself is a big part. So
exactly.
Yeah, so it's one of them in the middle that some people, I mean, it doesn't matter what you do, you still need to clean the email. And the better you clean, the better chances you have to reach out the people. So now, about the content importance, we already talked about the content for the emails. But how about what you do for content for your website? Do you create any blog posts?
Yeah, so we do have blog posts, very particularly about what is our business related with email deliverability, email hygiene stuff, right? And email sequences, right? So we also share our experience to the users by saying that this is how we follow the sequence. And other integrations, what we work with the other tools, right? So that also we kind of express in our blogs.
Yeah, I'm sharing the screen right now. I'm looking at your blog. So,
okay.
So
great. Yeah.
This is, yes. To me, like this is the reason why I build the Blogly, of course, because creating the content on the website is the primary how I can say mean of the vehicle to bring the clients, to bring the people, to bring the people in on the site, creating the traffic. That's the probably the most effective way. As soon as if we create the useful, valuable content, correct? Would
Correct.
you agree with me?
Yeah. Absolutely. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's the emails. I mean, the emails is. I mean, the you're spending so much time to write to create the cold email. To first of all to find the lead, then clean the email, then set up your campaign, then send out, and hoping the people will click and they come to your website, right? So when they come to your website, what are you will be holding them back to come back and again? I mean, it's because people are not likely, say, to sign up right away. They want to know more. They want to read about that, and they see if they can get the value. And the only way to provide the value is creating a blog post. So, is your platform here a blog post? Is it is this a WordPress or not WordPress? What is it?
This is running on a WordPress.
This is on the WordPress.
This is on a WordPress, correct.
Okay. Yeah.
And to answer your question, where so how we are driving is from cold email, we'll get them into one of the either on the landing page. We'll be getting to them on the landing page where there we'll talk about it. But I don't think we'll take them to the blog, as long as if we know there is certain set of customers who is very much interested or spend time on the website reading some kind of blog article, then we'll classify them. Okay, when we try to reach them, we'll be taking them to the blog content. Or someone who has already, we have seen it, he is kind of worked with a competitors. He has tried something, or he asked questions about how Clearout is different from other guys, right? So for them, we'll obviously send a cold email and try to take them to the comparison page. So we also have a comparison page which talks about how Clearout is better than the other guys, right? From the accuracy point of view, from other affordability point of view. So that's how we do it. Otherwise, most of 90% of our the click through from the email goes directly to the landing page where we'll say that sign up, and you will be seeing if you have the list with you, email list with you, we also give a sort of sign up 100 credits free, so they can immediately see, clean the list, understand how many or how healthy they maintain their list, right?
Okay.
And they can get started.
Okay. So, as you know that right now, I mean, as we all know that there is a COVID. I mean, with this pandemic and the COVID.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of that? I mean, of course, and we understand how much the negative consequences and for the whole. I mean, businesses around the world. But how is your company affected, and what do you think it come as a can be? I mean, what you can gain out of it, at least how you can get out of this situation with.
Yeah. So really, the COVID has helped two things in our aspect. The first one is obviously a lot of people. We are seeing a lot of people getting into the online way of doing their activities, doing their operations, right? Interactions is more, email interaction is happening than ever what we have seen. So since more email interaction is having, it's been increasing, we are seeing a lot of business coming to our side of it, right? We see we have grown actually 120% more than compared to the last year where we were. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So because of this COVID, because of this pandemic, because of lot of. On the other end, the other things which I was really worried as a founder, where since I think in India it started, it got into a series in the month of March, end of the March, I guess. So actually, we are a small team, some 12 people working under incubation, right? And suddenly next day morning we said that there's no office, right? and all have to be work from home, right? We were not prepared for it, right? So as a founder, I was too much worried about it, right? How people work on a remote, right? We were not prepared. We were not even discussed how we need to collaborate when we are working on remote, right?
Yeah.
So that was a big worry. But over a point in time, I think people understood. I think we could able to come out very well. It took just a month time for us to get settled working on remote.
So are you
And
working all totally remote now?
yeah, we are 100% remote. So
Yeah.
I've not. Yeah, we are 12 members team. We have not seen in last almost 10 months. We have not seen each other. Only on a video calls or only on
Hey,
Zoom.
I'm remote. I'm remote to begin with. So for me, it's like, I mean, my team is in a different parts of the world too. So
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Oh.
in US and I have a team in Ukraine, and I have
Oh. Okay.
Russia in the other places as well. So
Great.
yeah, I'm to begin with, I'm remote. So
Mm.
so for me, it's nothing new. To me, it's like continuing to doing the same thing what I
Wow.
was doing.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. For us, it was sudden, right? All of a sudden, our prime minister said that okay, from tomorrow onwards, you have to sit at home, complete lockdown. No, nothing is allowed, right? You can't move out of your house, right? So it was kind of unprepared for us, but it turned out to be good. So now I think we will be continue working on remote.
Yeah, I think it's becomes like a norm right now, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
empty buildings here in the Silicon Valley. It's kind of a little spooky to go around. It's huge buildings, all empty everywhere. So it's like kind
Oh.
of sad. I mean, it's you've seen so much real estate is not being even used. So everybody works from home, and but it's I guess it's normal. That will drive the lots of changes in the future. So uh, I'm just preparing what is going to be, but we'll see. Now, tell me a little bit more about the market, because I'm interested in myself, because my customers, a lot of customers are in India,
Mhm. Mhm.
and I was just interested is in and you know the freelancers, lots of freelancers who write the content
Mhm.
for their clients. So they are basically my customers. So all future
Yeah.
customers who I build a platform that easier for
Mhm.
easier to create the content, easier to communicate with your clients, sell them content, may collaborate together on content. So what do you think of the market differences? Can you give me the market difference between, say, US clients and Indian clients, and I mean Indian customers? Like for me, what would you
Mhm.
suggest, or say, what would you say the differences?
Yeah. So the good difference, one thing comes to my mind is U.S. customers obviously they are very practical. They want to make their hands dirty. They want to get drive immediately, right? Right. So they all need just in a self-drive way of discovering something, doing something, right? And from an Indian point of view, it they still require some guidance, right? So we
Guidance?
have
You're
to
talking
go
guidance?
guidance, correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though, for example, our product is a self-driven product, you can come, anyone can come, understand, they can sign up, they can get what we are talking about, right? They can upload their list, they can clean it. All those things can be done without any kind of assistance required, right? But if you see for Indian, we are seeing of late it's fine, but what I'm seeing is a lot of Indian clients need a kind of a support to be come at the early stage itself, right?
Say again?
Before
Can you
even
repeat again?
uh, no, they look for a support at the early stage itself, very early stage. That means post they sign up, right? They'll say, hey, I have signed up. Let me know how to get started, right?
Yeah.
They, yeah, let me know. Do I need to upload this file or do I need to do this actions? All are, even though it's been there, they might look for the support, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one thing I'm seeing. Second thing, obviously, Indian customers, from an enterprise point of view, closing the sales will take two times more than the US clients. Okay,
Interesting.
so
Okay.
yeah. So in US, obviously, even though we have some 60% of our client is from US, right? The closure time obviously will take maximum 15 days. Okay, because they would have discovered what we are doing, how we are better than others, all those things. They'll directly come to the pricing stage of it, right? They'll start discussion. Hey, okay, this is what I'm looking. Would you be like? Would you be ready to give an offer? So it all starts from pricing. But Indian clients is totally the other way. Like what I said, they'll be looking out for even understanding. They need help in understanding the results. They need help in understanding how do you use the results file, right? All those things, right? It
Yeah.
goes all the way from the start. So it delays the overall, the conversions by by a month time, right? There's no sub response.
Yeah,
So
I
we have to
noticed that.
work. Yeah, we do work hard for Indian clients. That's the issue.
No, it's perfectly, it's great. I mean, but I notice that. I definitely do. I mean, when the people say, okay, I want to know about this and this and this, and they want to know every, even though, yeah, we do have some tutorials and everything, but they want to know everything, even though they try before even they take the, like, Appsumo. I mean, you get the code on Appsumo, yeah, you got 60 days. I mean, there is no sweat. You can just simply click and refund anytime, right? So it's
Correct,
just
correct.
like a trial, right? Considers like a trial, but no, they think about the before even they get the code. They think about they want to test it out first and test it and retest it and know about everything and retest it again. So, but it's great. I mean, I love it. But I'm offering everybody, and what do you think? I'm offering everybody just go one-on-one on meeting. I'm just putting my Zoom link in instant immediately when someone has a problem. I just want them
Yeah.
to be online, sharing screen, and I can walk through. I can show demo. So for me, it's like really important to that kind of connection. Do you think that will definitely help the client better understanding, right?
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. Because not just Indian client, any client comes for help, we also get into immediate resolutions of getting into Zoom call or any kind of medium where they are comfortable, right?
Yeah,
That's why our support team is 24/7, right? We always available. So whether founder or whoever it may be, right, has to be pick the call, has to get on a call immediately, try to resolve the issues as quick as possible, right? Keep the customer happy. End of the day, keep the customer happy, right?
yeah. Yeah. Now the question is now another question for you, because I'm kind of also many people ask me like what did I do to get on Appsumo and why, and I mean how to make that, because a lot of clients who is on Appsumo and who is in their own business, I mean everybody wants to get in, do something with I mean otherwise they would not be on Appsumo, right? So why they there? Just because of they want to have some kind of business. So and they
Correct.
grow some kind of business, and of course getting on Appsumo for SaaS people. And by the way, you're not selling anymore lifetime deals, right? After you're done with the Appsumo, you're done.
Absolutely,
The,
yeah.
the the door is closed, and after that, no more a lifetime. Strictly subscription or credits, whatever system you're using. What are you using right now? What kind of the system for the
Offerings, right? So yeah, so after the Appsumo, right? So when we launched, yeah, that's what when we are there at Appsumo period, right? Post Appsumo, obviously, even I think even yesterday I got a request from one of the client asking for, do you still run a LTD, right? Lifetime deal.
Yeah, believe me,
I just thought,
I got those plenty. I said, okay. What if can you preserve just for us? We can buy like in lifetime. So basically, non-stop. Anytime that I want to expand, I just buy like extra codes. Well, no, I mean, you can do so much, but after that, say, okay, the deal is deal. When it's done, it's done. We move on. So
then
no more lifetime
yeah,
deals, and you don't want to make it
no,
like exceptions or anything, right?
no exceptions, nothing.
Because
Yeah,
it
we
doesn't
don't
work.
we
Just exception doesn't
yeah,
work.
it won't work because yeah, it won't work. We don't want to have exceptions for any kind of reasons, right? People comes, right? So
Yeah.
we'll try, yeah, we'll try to say that okay, you start with these things, but maybe the volume grows, all those things. We'll give a better offer, right? That's what we'll tell them.
Yeah.
But no more LTD we offer.
Yeah, no more LTD. Yeah, of course. LTDs are known that I've seen many cases when LTDs are killing the business because they get too much, they expose, they give everything away in LTD, and they're stuck in this mode because nothing to upsell. When they have nothing to upsell, you're pretty much dead because you only worry. Oh, okay, you sold everything away. It's like you're selling your soul, right? Then it's kind of hard to get back. Um,
Exactly.
but now, what you
Ex-
recommend for people who is starting out the business and they're interested to get on Appsumo if they have some kind of a SaaS business going, they probably building some platform or they doing. So, what would you recommend for them?
So I would recommend for the AppSumo is good for any SaaS uh, business in very early stage. Let's say uh, you are in the first 6 months of your product, right? So you launch your product, you have few customers, right? I think you go you if you get a chance to get into AppSumo early days, right? Much early days, it's always better because the first thing is you'll get exposure, you'll get a lot of users coming in, you'll get quick feedbacks, you get a lot of comments, even you might get negative comments, you have to be prepared yourself for it, right? uh, yeah. And since more the customers comes, more the apps handling AppSumo customers is not that easy, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
right. So you have to be prepared. Your support system has to be in a good this things. You have to build the support system properly, and you have to work based upon the feedback what they are giving, right? Because those are incredibly valuable feedbacks. Because we got a very good feedback from a lot of guys,
Hmm.
a lot of AppSumo users, right? Those are even turned out to be changing our priorities, right? It turned out to change our priority. We said, oh, this feature has to be, we'll have it 2 years later, but after we got a feedback from AppSumo, we pulled that feature to be much earlier, right? So quite a lot of things. So
Yeah,
people, because more the feedbacks you get, more the comments you get, more the things you interact with the customers on the early stage, it's always good for you.
yeah, yeah. True, true. It's,
It's more problems also. More the problem earlier you get, it's always good.
yeah, 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 true. Is what do you? I mean, I understand. I'm also myself that I'm every day I'm getting many different things that customer recommend, and I actually set up my roadmap where I give that idea, so it'll be easier for them to add the ideas. And I get the tons of ideas, and people driving. Basically, they are now driving where the app should go because the more feedback I have, the better it is. So I kind of paying attention to where people actually have a pain, right?
Correct,
So this
correct,
is probably the same simple concept rule applies. Doesn't matter whether you're in the SaaS business or you're developing your website. If,
correct.
and
Any,
especially if you're developing your website just for bloggers, right? You're doing some people are creating niche websites and writing their content for those niche websites and putting a lot of content. So one thing is this, that you really need to pay attention to your traffic. What are they reading? What are the interesting subjects that you can come up with? Same concept. So you're listening to your clients. One of the other ways. I mean, if you're doing a niche business, you do it through Google Analytics. You see what they are clicking. You see what the searches are. And by the way, what are your experience with this kind of like a research? I mean, when you were starting out, are you doing we're doing lots of keywords research, or you've been targeting certain things? When you did you pay for your Google yourself for the Google ads?
obviously, the money, yeah, the money we have earned out of AppSumo is the first we invested on Google Ads. Okay, because the same momentum we want to keep it from the traffic aspect, right? Because when you are in AppSumo, obviously you'll get a decent traffic, right? You'll see a spike in the
Yeah, that's
your traffic.
organic traffic. That's the best one, right?
Organic,
The
yeah,
people coming in with, yeah, that organic traffic is the
exactly.
best.
Yeah, the second one is, yeah, like what I said. We were actually from day one we started focusing on the organic way of bringing the traffic. So that means obviously like what you have pointed out, the keywords play a major role. So we understand, we research, we collected a lot of keywords that are
Aha.
relevant to our audience, right?
What are
So
you
this
using?
is
Let me ask you, what are you using for keyword research?
I think SEMrush we use other
SEMrush?
SEO tools. Yeah, SEMrush. We use Ahrefs, right? Multiple tools. It's not just one tool. We stick to it. We use multiple tools. Keyword building is ongoing process. So
Yeah.
earlier it's a earlier when we started, it was a kind of a every day we understand any, are there any new keyword, are we missing anything, what is there any keyword which is a kind of a long tail which we need to promote it, right? All those things, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now I think we have more or less saturated with the keywords because we covered almost these things. So now we are more relevance, right? We are trying to bring more relevance to the same keywords, right? With more content, right? So that we are trying to increase the
Yeah.
engagement, page
And
engagement.
yeah, but that's where this is again coming to the back to the content. So writing the only one thing, I mean, you can do only so many, say, so many pages or landing pages. Now you're talking about to bring the content and talking about keywords, you have to write the blog post, right?
Correct,
So no
correct,
matter
yeah.
what, to bring the organic traffic, you gotta have the blog post, and you better work hard on that. And by the way, SEO. Talking about SEO, I realized the importance of SEO. I mean, some later, not right away, because they're thinking that okay, you're writing blog post, they're thinking you just throw it in everything.
Mhm.
It didn't work well at the when I was doing it like earlier, because you have no strategy. The SEO building to specific keywords give you the strategy. And what do you do for optimization? I understand you're doing the SEO. I mean, you're doing SEO with the SEMrush or Ahrefs. Um, but let's say for blog post, because I built my own. I mean, my own. It's a simple breakdown on page SEO inside the Blogly. So it kind of corresponding very well, because I was impressed how the rank math is doing, and the rank math
Mhm.
was in the WordPress. So I kind of got the similar concept of simple, like staying by the steps. So basically, I put the steps and set up the SEO for the blog post to keep it done in a few minutes. You can optimize any blog post. But but of course, you're not involved personally yourself, right? You have in a team somebody who's doing it for you, right?
Yeah, so I have a marketing expert, Anurag. His name is Anurag. He's the one who handles the entire organic as well as paid. Both he takes care of it. From the optimization aspect, what we do is from organic is obviously like what I said. We do recently we started doing more on the link building because, like what I said, we
Link
have
building
already
is such
link
a fancy
building, right?
word, but tell me link building. It's difficult. It's everybody has a different process, and it's tough. I tried the link building. It's a manual process, and it's just not easy. So
Exactly, it's a manual but why it's been we are doing it. We started receiving a lot of requests from good sites which already have a decent traffic. So we see even we got actually from a ESP like Moosend, like Active Campaign, like Platformly, right? Different SaaS tools. They started approaching us to have some kind of exchanging the content, right? Basically link building process, right? So which is obviously relevant because we have close to 20 plus integration. Clearout can work with 20 plus all these ESPs to bring all the lists seamlessly and do a cleanup, right? So it obviously helps. So any active, like what you said, Mailchimp users, they when they receive too many bounces, their account will be blocked. Mailchimp will block their account. So
mm,
what is the remedy? How they can recover their account, right? So they'll come to us, right? They'll clean all the lists and then they'll use only the guaranteed delivery what we are promising. It will not have any bounces, right? They'll use that, and over a period of time they'll gain the good reputation on the using Mailchimp, right? So that's how we help people. So as part of that, we'll also part of their link building activity. So we exchange some contents. So that also it's really helping us. Um,
yeah, yeah,
it's
definitely.
helping us. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
helping us.
Just a question about say because of course there's always I always ask, say, if I talk to someone, say how they would think of that, say, Blogly app, which is we focus on specifically on the content and the create content creation and creation of blog post which drives the traffic. What do you think of how that Blogly, say, can be collaborated on this kind of email cleaning service? How we can do the sum of the business together?
So I see a great potential because we already doing it in the WordPress blogs, right? WordPress itself, we already have a Clearout has a WordPress plugin, right? So that means Clearout comes in a place where not only at the sending time, Clearout comes at the place of even at the capturing of the email, right? So let's say you have a blog, right? Obviously you want to you want to capture the visitor's email, right? So that's
Yeah.
how you build the subscriber base, right? You have to increase your subscriber base, right? So when you ask for an email, right? If someone comes and give you invalid email, when I mean it can be a bad email in the sense that they might give some random faulty email, right? It looks like email, but it's not exist in the world, right? Just to skip just the registration process or something, right? Because you might be giving just gathering an email, you might send them a PDF or you'll show your content in full form, right? All those things, right? So we help at the time of capture itself, right? So that means the email whatever user entered is actually really a valid and exist, right? So all the fraudulent abuser emails will stop, right at the capture itself. So that means your subscriber base, what you have, is a very healthy one, which is a very genuine users, right? You will be able to without any doubt you can reach them, right? So we have a great opportunity for us to collaborate. Blogely can be easily integrated with Clearout, with making sure all the subscribers of your blog, right, or through Blogely will be obviously the valid subscribers.
Okay.
Right?
So basically, you want to do the cleaning before even as soon as they submit the
enter
exactly. Subscriber on the email list, right?
Exactly. So the good part is, let's say even we have seen a lot of things, people giving a typo instead of Gmail, right? They instead of Gmail, they would have given Gmali, right? People are speedy in typing these things, right? So we even suggest that, hey, do you mean this or not, right? So that means at the time of when the user is giving their email, that if you are trying to correct it and capturing the right email, that's the best thing, right? Otherwise, you lose the visitor, right? If you are not, if you would have accepted the bad or the typoed email, right? There's no chance of you going and correcting it, right?
Yeah.
The best part of correction is at the time of when they entering itself, right?
One of the point of interactions for us with the emails is not even in WordPress, because WordPress is a WordPress. It's a big platform. There's tens of thousands of different plugins, so it's not there. It's more on the side of on a portfolio. Portfolio is something that have nothing to do with the WordPress. You can actually, in the Blogly, you can create a portfolio, and anyone could read your tutorial or your newsfeed or your blog. You can do the blogs in also showcase your portfolio to your clients, and you have a messaging system. We have a messaging when the client anyone can message you back, but when they do that, they have to enter the email. So this is where the point of interaction, I can see where we can clean before even because we don't want to have. Yeah, we can clean the email before even anything started. So otherwise we don't have the really good email to follow up. So in this case, maybe that way I can see the real integration. So, but for that does require some integration with your system. Say we can look it up there, but we have so many tasks right now. But definitely that email cleaning is in my mind is also sitting. Yeah, would be nice to bring the email cleaning, and don't let the customer kind of get verified email before even start anything on
Yeah.
this, which is great. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So, is anything anything you wanna say? Anything you had on your mind that you wanna bring up?
Uh, um, so we also have. I'm not sure whether you are. Currently, we are running a Clearout phone in
Yeah. What is
Appsumo.
that?
Uh, so, uh, Clearout phone is for basically capturing a valid phone number, right? Like how we are saying email, right? Phone is also like people try to give a phone number which might not exist, right?
Yeah.
So in a real time, we try to validate the phone number whether it's been exist or not in the world, right? So how we do is basically we work with sorry we work with all these international telecom authority. We work with other forms of source to collecting all the valid telephones, telephone numbers. So we won't even so basically it's all we maintain database, but at the same time we also, as part of validations, we also give back enriched form of data, like whether the given phone number is a mobile type or it's a land number, fixed line, right, or it's a VoIP number.
Hmm.
So as part of that, user might, let's say, in a app or anywhere, right, you try to capture the phone number, and you are very particular to capture only the mobile because you want to send some OTP way of authentications, right? So we come in we come in there to help. If someone enters a number, we'll make sure that it is a mobile or not, right? So
Hmm.
there, if they, even though a lot of countries have the same number, the length of the number is same, right? Irrespective of whether it's a mobile number or it's a fixed number or it's a VOP, right? Right. So
Hmm.
from the length of number, you will not know what type of it is, right? So we help users to understand what type of number it is, and this all happens on the real time.
Hmm. Interesting. So just I'm looking. Just quickly check right here that
Mhm.
what I mean. What do we have for? As far as the email and the phone number you just mentioned. So one of the things that who knows, maybe the phone number is also the future, because right now WhatsApp is everywhere, right?
Yeah.
WhatsApp is based on a phone number, right? So the
Yeah.
communication is important, and part of the communication we have this, like I mentioned, portfolio. So if I share my screen here, so
Mhm.
basically this is like a portfolio would look like different types of portfolio. So this is a portfolio
Mhm.
like look like a blog.
Mhm.
This is a look like a blog, but it could be used for, I'm using this as a knowledge base. So this is a, can be used by, anyone who
Mhm.
has the blog, like create a portfolio. It could be used as a news feed, and a part of this,
Mhm.
when someone try to message you, they have to put an email name and email.
Mhm.
Of
Yeah.
course, you can
Mhm.
bypass that. You can allow them in the settings. But when they do the email, who knows? Maybe even the
Mhm.
phone number. I'm not
Yep.
sure if the phone number is a solution. But do you think what the percentage of people are thinking? Okay, I got my portfolio. Let's say I'm a freelancer. I have my portfolio, and oh, I'm a business. I want to set up some kind of quick tutorial or quick guide, or
Mhm.
having some news feed, and I want the people contact me. One of the ways to contact is through this messaging system. But what do you think the percentage of people might have? Okay, here's my phone. I want to be called, or I want to be say. Do you think is it worth it? Do you think is some people would do the phone number here as well?
Yeah. So if you see our mostly for B2B audience, right? We try to capture as much of the information, but on the stages. It's not at the first time. Itself we'll ask email, phone number, all those information. So for us, we'll capture email. Over a point in time, we'll also try to capture the phone number. In case where we want to reach them or a phone call, right? Uh, so, but I would prefer people. people 90% of people will not give phone numbers. That's what we have seen.
Yeah.
That's why we also not having that as a mandatory. But we try to